How do I factorize polynomials of order 3 to order 6? We have to go back to the beginning, such as a raised power 1 plus b raised power 1 is the same thing as a plus b or raised power 1, relatively plus or minus 0. And this is still a plus b. Now, and then we have a squared plus b squared to be equals to what? If you want to factorize this, it's the same thing as saying what? A plus b all squared. Such that if I expand this, what will I get? If I expand this, I'm going to have it as a squared plus 2ab plus what? B squared. Now, I want it to be what? Only a squared plus what? Plus b squared. In which case, what will I do? I'll subtract what? 2ab. Now, and that becomes what? Minus 2ab. So that's the expansion or the factorization, of this expression. Now, for a raised power 3 now that we are on to, b raised power 3, this becomes what? A plus b all raised power 3 minus what? Now, on expanding this, what will I have? I'll have it as what? A raised power 3 plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus what? B cubed, using Pascal triangle. Now, this is already on ground, which is only what I want it to be on ground. What remains? 3a squared b plus 3ab squared. What will I do? Factorize it here. It becomes what? 3ab is common. What remains? A plus what? Plus b. Now from here, I'm going to subtract this one from this expansion so that I can have what? A cube plus what? B cube only in this expansion. So that becomes minus what? 3ab into a plus what? A plus b. Now, you can test it out. You can select my a be 2, let my b be 3. Put it here. A is now going to be what? 8 plus 27. The same thing happens here. So whatever you get here, you must get here. That's just what it means. Now for a raised power 4 plus b raised power 4, what does this become? Now we can solve this one in two basic ways. Other ways I might not be open to yet, but for two basic ways, the first one is this, which is still the best to use, especially when it comes to roots of a quadratic equation or root of a cubic equation, or when you have to use it in roots at all. Now this becomes what? A plus what? B all raised power 4 minus what? Now after expansion, what will I have? I'm going to have a raised power 4 plus 4a cube b plus 4ab cube and then plus b cube. Now, in this case, what remains? This now becomes what? After factorizing, I will have this left. 4ab into a squared plus b squared minus what? 6a squared b squared. If you factorize it very well, bringing the ones of 4 together, the ones of 6 together, you're going to have this remaining. Then, just as we have been doing, I'm going to subtract the solutions from this this one that I have here. Now, or the second method is for a raised power 4 plus b raised power 4, you can see it's the same thing as a raised power 2 all raised power 2 plus b raised power 2 all raised power 2. Then you now use the idea of this to solve it. That is, this now becomes what? A raised power 2 plus b raised power 2 all raised power 2. Then minus 2 a raised power 2 b raised power 2. Why? Because what I'm looking at is what? The ones inside the bracket that is telling me what to do. So, just like this, that becomes a raised power 2 plus b raised power 2 all raised power 2 minus what? 2a raised power 2 b raised power 2 in the case of what? A raised power 4 plus b raised power what? 4. Now, so whichever case, you can use this one or you can use what? This one. But this is still the best expression also. For a raised power 5 plus b raised power 5, this becomes what? A plus b all raised power 5 minus what? After expansion and then using Pascal triangle to bring the one of 5 together, the one of 10 together. Because why? The Pascal triangle of 5 is 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. So I'm going to split it like this. I'll split it like so. And in this case, I'll do what? I'm going to factorize the ones of 5 out, the ones of 1 out, the ones of 10 out, and bring it together. After factorizing them out, what will I now have? I'll be left with what? 5ab into what? A raised power 3 plus b raised power 3. Then minus what? 10 a raised power 2 b raised power 2 into a plus what? b. That will be my expression for a raised to power 5 plus b raised to power 5. And finally, for a raised to power 6 plus b raised to power 6, what will I have? A raised to power 6 plus b raised to power 6. This becomes what? A plus b all raised to power 6 minus what? Minus 6ab into a raised to power 4 plus b raised to power 4. Then minus what? Minus 15 a raised to power 2 b raised to power 2 into a squared plus what? B squared. Then plus what? 20a squared a cube, b what? Cube. Now this is it. Now let's look at the trend. So possibly if you want to hack it in your head also. Now the trend is this. For power 1, there's nothing special about this one. You will know this one. Now for power 2, this is a plus b all raised to power 2, then minus 2ab. So that's just all. For this one is a plus b all raised to power 3 minus 3ab. Now for 3, we have into what? A plus what? B. For 4 is minus 4ab into what? A squared plus b squared, then minus 6a squared b squared. Now, how are we coming about all this? They are all from Pascal triangle. Now, Pascal triangle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are, or from 0 to 6 are, for 0 is what? 1, for 1 is 1, 1, for 2 is 1, 2, 1, for 3 is 1, 3, 3, 1, for 4 is 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, for 5 is 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1, and for 6 is what? 1, 6, 15, 20, 15, 6, 1. Now, it's just as though I divided this into 2, like so. If I divide this into 2 like this, what happens? Since all what is here is similar to what is here, if I've gotten all this, just factorize them with respect to the remaining ones that we have here after expansion of each of these ones. Now, that's the idea of how these two came into place. So 1, 2, the last one is not there. 1, 3, the last one is not there. 1, 4, 6. The next one is going to be 4, so 4 is already here. After factorizing, this is what came into place. So then 4, 1 is not there. Then for 5, 1, 5, 10. It means 10, 5, 1, so which is already here. For 6, 1, 6, 15, 20. We have 15, 6, 1. So we're going to be stopping here. So following the trend again, what do we have? This is 3ab into a plus b, 4ab into a squared plus b squared, minus 6a squared b squared. Then for 5, we have it as what? 5ab into a cube plus b cube, increment. Then minus 10a squared b squared into a plus b. Then for 6, we have it as what? 6ab into what? A raised to power 4, increment, plus b raised to power 4, minus 15a squared b squared into a squared plus b squared. Then finally plus what? 20 a cube b cube. You can see from squared towards cube, and so on and so forth. So it means if I have this one up to cube also, the next one will be raised to power 4. Okay, or for a raised to power 6 plus b raised to power 6, we can say the same thing as a raised to power 2 or raised to power 3 plus b raised to power 2 or raised to power 3, or I can also say the same thing as what? A raised to power 3 or raised to power 2 plus b raised to power 3 or raised to power 2. Then I will now express in terms of power 3 and power 2 for these cases. So let me just quickly do that before. Okay, so now this now becomes what? A raised to power 2 plus b raised to power 2 or raised to power 3 minus 3 a raised to power 2 b raised to power 2 into a raised to power 2 plus b raised to power 2. How do I mean? I just followed the one of 3. That's a plus b all cube minus 3ab into a plus what? Into a plus b. Then for this one, for power 2, which you should know by now, this is the same thing as what? A raised to power 3 plus b raised to power 3 or raised to power 2 minus 2 a raised to power 3 b raised to power 3. So whichever you use amongst this or this, you get the same answer for what? A raised to power 6 plus b raised to power what? 6. As simple as what? As simple as that. Now for a raised to power 7, you can try that one out. Since for 7, I'll be having 1, 7. This is 21. This is 35. This is 35. This is 21, 7, 1. So I'll just need to factorize all these ones and then conclude. So I should have a plus b raised to power 7 minus 7ab into a raised to power 5 plus b raised to power 5, then minus, in this case, 21 a squared b squared, then into a raised to power 3 plus b raised to power 3, then plus 35 in this case now, plus 35 a cube b cube into a plus b. So if you can write what I just said down now and then try it out, I believe you should get the answer.